I know we're running late, so I'll try to be fast. I'd like to introduce what's BlaBlaCar, because it has a funny name, but it's not that self-explanatory. And then try to give you an idea of what's the real innovation that BlaBlaCar represents around trust. So first of all, I'd like to say that BlaBlaCar is probably one of the purest examples of the collaborative economy, because what we do is enable people, if this works, we do enable people to share, to do something that all of us have done at some point. This is not working, but I can still speak it. No worry. Está apagado. Lateral. Okay. Vale. Now it works. Thank you. So what I was saying is, BlaBlaCar enables people to do something that probably all of us has done at some point of our lives, which is sharing a car and sharing the cost of a trip. So we connect people that are going to travel with their own cars and have empty seats with other people that are willing to travel with them and split the cost of the trip. This is a very simple phenomenon, very simple idea, but it has evolved extremely rapidly, thanks to technology, and I'll explain how. Just to give you a few ideas, what we have at the heart of BlaBlaCar is a travel search engine, as the one you use to find a trip to Kassala, and that it's working on top of a trust community. A lot of people that trust each other, thanks to the context that technology enables. Just to give you a few figures, BlaBlaCar just reached 30 million users in the world. It's the biggest European player of the sharing economy. We are in 22 countries at this point. I'd also like to explain that BlaBlaCar is, as I said, very much connecting people that are traveling between cities, so enabling tourism also. Since actually almost 2/3 of our trips are weekend getaways. So there's a deep impact of this sort of collaborative mobility into tourism. So I don't want to extend myself a lot. I want to give you a second piece of information around a very interesting study that we recently launched with NYU, with New York University, around trust, because trust is what's enabling sharing economy companies to develop as fast as they are doing. I'd like for you to think a little bit about trust, because it's at the heart of the economy. Trust is what enables economical exchanges. When there was no technology, when there were no institutions, we created trust by knowing a person and actually interchanging goods or services with that person. And over the course of time, we've scaled trust in different ways. So for us to create interpersonal trust, for me to trust Rafael, for instance, I need to have several interactions with him, and we build trust. That is slow, and that has very limited reach. What we're seeing right now is an evolution. It all started with families. We started trusting the members of our family and the families that we knew. Then civilization created communities, and we started trusting the people in our communities. But that is still limited. That's why we moved on and created proxies of trust. Proxies such as governments, even though trust might be at stake some point. We created institutions such as banks, and we created brands. Brands allow a shift in the paradigm. We started trusting other people, and then we started creating trust of a lot of people towards one institution, company, brand. Now what we're seeing is a change here, and we're enabling massive trust between individuals. That's what's at the bottom of the sharing economy. What's at the bottom of that is that I can trust Rafael even if we didn't met before, because other people have had interactions with him, and we have information from that. So that's what's being disrupted here. We're going from a very limited circle of trust to an almost unlimited one. Very briefly, how sharing economy companies create trust is by using technology to allow people to declare who they are, to verify who they are, to show their picture, to say what's their age or what they work at. Also, to be rated. it's not new for the tourism economy that ratings in the internet have changed everything. We've gone to stars of hotels to stars of websites, and we trust that more. Having online booking and online payment services allow us to have more engagement with other people, and also having the notion of how active they are in the community, or having the notion that all of the contents are moderated, it's a very good proxy of trust. Lastly, having a knowledge of whether their impact on other social networks, it's also a good indicator of trust. We did a very thorough survey, thanks to New York University, and we studied how trust is impacted thanks to these communities. This is no surprise to anyone. This is how we trust different people. How do we trust our family, how we trust our friends. What's interesting here is that communities such as BlaBlaCar are getting a high level of trust. When we asked people how much they trust other people with a profile like the one I just saw, that was the result. There's obviously effect of the brand, but even beyond that, a generic platform could still create trust. So I want to show you a video. You might not be able to see it perfectly. These are all the trips that are done on one single day on BlaBlaCar. Please keep in mind that all of the dots that you're seeing are cars that are shared with people that were not knowing each other before. This is what happens when trust is disrupted massively. That's France. You can see that the scale is massive. Even in Spain, it is massive. So this is what we're going to see evolving thanks to the disruption that we've created on trust, not only on mobility, but in probably every industry around the world. It's a bit more than 5 minutes, sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.